today. Happy New Year. I wish the best to you and your families. This particular video is going to really be about my new bird project, the refinance, the trials and tribulations, the struggle, what the numbers look like today, and hopefully you guys will learn something from it. And I'll learn as well. Please like, subscribe, give me comments, things of that nature. Okay, let's start off my presentation. Okay, let me share my screen. Hmm, okay, this is good enough. Okay, so you got my E Street Burr case study um, under my company, the Fan Group. This is a company that I created a few years ago. I manage property. I give property advice, especially financing uh, low sub 100K loans, right? Which is what this was. So let's kind of break it down here. Mm, This okay. Wow. Okay. Cool. So yeah. So these are the original conditions of the property, as you can see. You know, it needed new windows, ceiling collapsing. This floor right here is beautiful wood, but it's all warped from the water hitting it. So all this floor had to be taken up. Got rid of the carpet. This window had to be replaced. Actually, I put a bathroom right here. This space right now is a bathroom because we only had one bathroom. It's like a powder room. Got rid of this radiator. This is how it looked from the exterior. Okay, so deal at a glance. I use a HELOC to first purchase this. Um, 22,000 in cash, 75 all in. I refinance they, for 97,000. The loan cost was 11,000, so it cost 11,000 for them to produce, for them to fund this loan, right? Which was something I really didn't expect, and I was able to pull out 11,500. Why this deal? From a small town, the town in which I grew up in, very low price market. And we did it with small towns. A lot of times you got less regulation, you got less people looking over your back. You got these municipalities, they just want you to get this property back onto the tax program, right? So, they're not looking to have a lot of oversight. They want it to be taxed so they can get more money for the city. In this particular project, speed mattered more than perfect timing. Okay, um, because as we know, the longer a project takes, the more time out of your pocket it will cost. And the crash that created control, right? So when I bought it in cash, I had maximum control over the property. I could do whatever I wanted to do with it, and we'll break down some of the things I did well, some things I didn't do well. So what I liked about the deal is no mortgage, no hard money, no appraisal, full control. And we'll go into some of the before. I don't know if this is still sharing. What is it sharing now? Okay, we'll go and share uh, boom, some of the after pictures here. Yeah, so we'll go here. So you'll see the same picture. This is interesting right here. Obviously, this is the bathroom on the other side of this wall. This is where the vanity and all that would be. Of course, they took the copper pipes, bust down the wall. Uh, this is the gross rug that was in here. Some of the outside siding, I had to replace all of that along. Also with these two windows, these are the trusses. You can actually see outside of this particular room right here. This, thankfully, the wall here is concrete, so it's pretty solid. Most of the trusses were good. One of them was fractured, had to replace. But this is the condition of this home. This is the same master bath bedroom. This is another picture of the master bedroom, which had the most damage in the house. Okay. Now let's go back to my presentation here. Boom. We'll move now into some of the before pictures, right? So what does this did this property look like before? Can I find some after pictures rather, not before, right? Uh right. So this is some of my after pictures that take it back up top. So this is that same living room, which the ceiling was collapsed, right? All this is redone. And remember what I said, what I did here is I put a bathroom here. I think I get a better shot of it. Uh, don't have any better shots, but this is kitchen, new countertop. I wanted that elegant white tile. These cabinets, I did replace them with new hardware, sanded them down, painted them a neutral color, and I put in 22 mil flooring, which cost me about $2,000 for the whole house. If I had to do it again, I would get a cheaper version of this. But I did want something that lasted very long. And 22 mil wear layer is very durable. Take you back up to that original bedroom that we saw. Mm, I believe, yeah, this is it right here. This is that bedroom where the ceiling's caving in. You can see the trusses, and this is the bathroom on the other side of this particular bedroom. It's a closet here. It's a closet in the back as well. Okay, stop sharing. We'll go back to my present. We'll go back to my presentation. Yes, I will. Okay. So, again, the renovation was 53,000. Okay, talk a little bit about that. And the way that was broken down really was 22,000 was the cash, 53,000 was the renovation divided really into labor, materials, and administrative costs. Administrative costs is like junk removal, which is like $1,200, right? It will go into the different inspectors you got to pay to come and get the permits. It would be I had a team come from a different state and they gave me a really good price, but I had to put them up in a hotel for a couple of weeks, right? It would be all the interest on all the different credit cards and the HELOC that I had, right? If you add all that up, it's about 9 grand. So let's look into just the refinance. 97,000, 7.8% rate, 30-year term. My mortgage is $991 a month. My rent is now 1550. Project timeline went from April to September. Now let's break down my yearly budget for this property since we are beginning the year. Take a sip of my wine. So the total income is 18 grand. That is 1550 times 12. The NOI is 15 grand, meaning I have a $3,000 expense um, for repairs, right? Which is kind of low, but since it has new plumbing, new lines, new electrical, new flooring, new roof, new water heater, new high capacity heat pump, I figure maybe it's a good number, right? A budget is basically a best guess. You don't know, but we'll see what happens. My financial expenses is 10K. That's the mortgage. My net profit is 4,200 a year or 350 a month. Now the proof is in the pudding, right? The proof is in the pudding. So I wanted to show you guys some actual receipts here because that's what I believe. Mm. Let me see if I can find you some actual receipts. This is basically the document that you get that lists all the debits and credits for each party to my company. The loan was 7,000. Then you had all these other underwriting fees, title fees, government charges, miscellaneous charges. All came up to 11,000. Taxes, 97,000. I received a wire for 86,000 fan group. Okay, and we will take a look at another receipt. This is not really bragging. I want to specify that this is a real deal. As you can see, I got a wire today for 86,000. My available balance is 90,000, and that is as of 1/2. This is the 1,500 for my voucher holder that I get every month. So I should be getting another 1,500 for holidays. I might get it Monday. So this will be, you know, 9,200, 92,000. Well, 91,200, something like that. And this is not to brag. Um, I'm not boastful. I'm very blessed with what's been going on here, but I want you guys to see the real numbers, okay? Let me share this back. Mm, I want to share it like that, dude. No, I don't want to do that. Share it the right way. Maybe we gotta share it this way. Okay, a little better. So, proof is in the pudding. Now, one of my favorite movies is Baby Boy, only because I like the OG kicking game for the youngsters, and I see both versions of myself in the OG and the younger guys now that I'm a little bit older. So I got 97 bands, and a lot of temptation comes with that. You know, what could I do with that money? I kind of think in the back of my mind, man, this is a really nice new Maserati that they have. It's an electric vehicle. I mean, could I just take 10,000 off the top and go put it down on that vehicle? Yeah, probably. I probably could. Timepiece. I don't have a timepiece. I don't really wear a lot of jewelry, but could I take 12, 8, and maybe go buy a Rolex? properly. And of course, I can buy a pair of Jordans or multiple pairs of Jordans, but that is not what I'm gonna do with the money because I'm always thinking of the next move, the next game plan. I'm not thinking about the butter, which is the things that don't go up in value, cars, shoes, clothes, things like that. I'm thinking about the guns, the investment opportunities. So this is my plan for the cash. My plan is I got the 86,000. Use the funds for capital allocation for property acquisition. So I'm just going to get another property. I got 27,000 already sidelined for another purchase on the same block. A little bit more money, way less work, right? I'm going to buy cash only. So the purpose would be buy cash only. You don't have a financing risk, right? I control everything and not preserving my credit optics, which I've worked very hard to assume at this point. Okay, so let's look at how I'm going to clean up some of the debt that I'm in now, right? I got roughly 20,000 in high interest credit cards, right? I used um, maybe about 25,000 in high interest credit cards to fund the materials, right? The shingles for the roof, the ice shield, the gutters, the cement, the flooring, the drywall, the new sink, the new air handler, the new heat pump, the new hot water tank. Things like that were all funded through business credit cards. Many of them, all of them actually had a zero interest period, right? That has expired on one and it will expire on the others. So my plan is I have an Amex business card that has about 10K on it. I'll pay that off on Monday. And I have two Bank of America cards. Bank of America, we actually can get two business credit cards with one pool. Those are expiring in February. I'll just pay them off too. That's going to impact uh, my savings, right? I'm gonna be able to. I'm not going to have that interest, a dead weight interest. It's going to improve my utilization, and it's going to create a stronger underwriting profile for my next deal. So for me, it's about relationship capital, not spending money on the butter, right? So I'll take $25,000 of the money that I have, I'll deposit it into a credit union which I have a relationship with. I've been with this credit union for over 12 years. I have a $13,000 credit line through some credit cards, and never missed a payment. So I'm like, wait, this might be a good time to utilize them while I have this money available. So I'm going to take 15K, put it in the checking, 10K, put it in the savings. I'm going to season those funds in this account, establishing average daily balances. I'll have liquidity and stability, and this is going to support future loan approvals. And I'm going to leave these funds untouched for my season period. And once it's seasoned, I want to do a shared secured installment loan, not for 25,000. I don't want that much. It's a small amount, 10 grand, 12 to 14 months. See if I can get a rate. Um, I know I'll get a rate lower than the credit cards, but maybe somewhere close to my HELOC. I'm gonna put it on all the pay set and forget it, and just let that thing work its magic for the next several months. Because remember, the first thing is to put the money in the bank. The second thing is use a get a secure loan. And once that secure loan is seasoned, I'll go back and see if I can get an unsecured loan. I'm gonna put about 15,000 inside the operating account for my uh no, yeah, I'm gonna put 15,000 inside not the credit union, but actually the operating account, okay, of Bank of America. And then the other money I'm going to put in another credit union and do the same process with. But once this is seasoned, you don't want to go back to back because credit unions look at that and you look desperate. You look like you're trying to borrow money. So once I get this out the way, I'll go into the next phase. Some mistakes I made. One mistake I made is not on here, and it's not getting insurance. What I did was I figured, hey, I don't need no insurance because nobody even living in there yet. I'm renovating it. I could save, hundreds of dollars, which I did. But the bad part of that is, had anything happened, right? Had the place caught on fire from a electrical matter? I don't know. Had a tree came crushed in my new home? Essentially, I would have been out of money. Like if the home catches on fire and blows up, that's it. You know what I mean? I can't recoup any of that from a claim because I don't have any insurance on it. So don't be cheap like me or don't be ignorant like me and not get insurance. Get insurance on it as soon as you get it. It's not a lot of money, relative to what you're already gonna put into it. So that's what I would have did differently. Another thing I would have lined up lenders beforehand. Okay. I didn't really do that. I started chasing lenders, and I didn't realize that this deal was going to be more difficult to fund than I thought. I underestimated how long my HELOC money would be stuck in the interest. Right, the interest eventually ballooned to $500 a month. Right, which is essentially another mortgage. I focused too much on the after repair value and not really minimizing some of my credit card loans. And the timeline in which these credit card loans would expire the zero interest period. I really didn't take that into account enough. But the numbers worked, but the sequencing needed tweaked. What was hard about this deal? The rehab was relatively easy, right? Because I'm a project manager by nature. What was hard was the refinance, and this is why. Anytime you have small loans, you have a lot of banks that don't want to touch small loans, particularly under 100,000, particularly if the home is titled in an LLC, right? So Chase Bank, PNC Bank, Dollar Bank, M&T Bank, all the local banks did not want to touch this property because one, it was an LLC, and two, it really wasn't worth it for them. So now you got to go to specialty lenders, which are going to charge a higher rate and they're more restrictive. So because it's titled in the LLC, that's more paperwork for me, that's fewer options, and that's longer timelines to find a loan. The seasoning confusion is different for every lender, right? And then um, some of the processes change mid within the process. It changed because the appraisal came back a little lower than expected. Another thing is my time. My capital was tied up for a long time, longer than planned, and that's important when you have a very strict budgeting timeline. So the bottom line is buying cheap is easy, but the most important thing is exiting clean and making sure you have a contingency plan. What I'll do differently next time, these are new rules I will follow now. Um, I would understand that the BRRRR isn't done until it's done. I will line up 2 to 3 refinance options before buying. I would confirm minimum loan sizes up front, and I learned this kind of like during my processes. Once I realized the lenders wanted it at least to be 100,000, what I did was I would ask that question right off the bat before I talk to any other lender. Um, Assumes higher rates and stress tests. So if you have a lower loan, if you're titled in the LLC, if you're in a small town, and assume that you're going to have a higher rate, when you underwrite the property, you need to stress test it with a higher rate. If not, then if it comes in higher, then you underwrite it for the deal won't work, and then that will lead you to maybe only having one exit plan. You never want that. You want more than one exit plan, whether it be the whole long term, but whether it be a delayed BRRRR, I mean, you don't have a BRRRR right away, whether it be, hey, you want to do a BRRRR recoup some of your money, or maybe you want to do the 75% loan to value like I did. Those are some options. I'll take away, guys. The numbers did work. The refinance is harder than the actual rehab. And this BRRRR is going to lead me into possibly another BRRRR. So I want you guys to smash the like button, subscribe. Let me know if I could have did anything better. Let me know if you have any advice for me in terms of this particular project, guys. So as of now, I have a 6 unit building. I have a single family home, and I'm working on getting another single family home on the same block, and maybe even a third one, guys. Because in this particular county, this particular home is located next to another one that's completely dilapidated. Now, this county will let you put in an application in order to buy the one next door for just a couple $1,000s. So I put in an application. A guy got back to me, said he preliminarily looked at my application. He said it looks like I probably will qualify, but the whole process is um, 12 to 18 months. So we'll see if if that comes in. I'll renovate that one as well, and I'll have three on the same block. And then there's another one on the same block that's also up for sale. Um, hey, it might be four. We'll see, guys. Thank you. God bless. Please subscribe.